What's up, Denver Foos, and welcome to the Denver Foos podcast. We have a very special guest here today. Before I introduce him, I want to thank our sponsors at SE Shirts and Hoodies. Make sure you go to seshirtsandhoodies.com for all your needs on shirts, hoodies, custom apparel. That's what I'm wearing right here, baby. Denver Foos, you already know. But let me introduce you guys to our fascinating guest that we have here today. He's multi-talented. Let's give it up for Notorious. David, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you, man? Thanks for having me on. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. You reached out in the DMs, and you actually even came into the Denver Foos Barbershop where we currently are right now.
Oh, yeah.
You got a haircut, and then you blessed our wall, and look at all this amazing art you came here to share with us today on the Denver Foos podcast. I appreciate you.
I appreciate being on here. I've heard, whenever you review things like the stock show and anything Denver related, I'm all about Colorado. Happy to be here.
Definitely. That'll lead into my first question. Are you from Colorado? Where are you originally from? Tell us about your roots and what part of Colorado you're from.
Born and raised here in Aurora, mostly on the Arapahoe County side. I originally my family originally came from Peru, but we've all mostly just stayed in Aurora. It's like what we're familiar with.
Cool. So you're Peruvian?
Yes.
That's awesome. See how much diversity we have in our beautiful city. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of great art that you've made for a lot of our great Denver sports heroes, the Broncos, the Nuggets. How did you get into art?
Well, originally, I was a pretty shy kid, especially in school. I just mostly kept to myself, and I would just draw. And I just got really good at it to the point where people would come up to me and hey, that's really good. How much you want for it? And then it kind of grew from there. Originally, it was just drawing. I would just use markers, from Crayola or anything like that. But then when I started getting better and I started getting more committed, I started putting more effort into my work.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so amazing. You have some great pieces. You blessed us with the Sutton. Tell us about the Sutton that you did.
Cortland's probably one of my favorite players on the Broncos at the moment. I ran into him a couple times during the training camp, and I knew I had to make something for him, which thankfully I got to during one of the tailgates. I made him a custom piece of him doing that backhand catch against one of the Chiefs. I forget that guy's name already. I think it was Snead or something. And I wasn't really expecting much. He did a few of my posts on Instagram. So I was all right, if I see him, I definitely gotta show him this one. Because I did that one in 3 days. And it was about the same size as the Manning right there.
Wow, this Manning one.
Yeah.
And so what are the dimensions on say this Manning one right here? It's beautiful.
Dimensions, for those ones, I believe it's 2 inches apart. The original size is about 48 by 32 inches.
Okay.
I don't really mess with those kind of canvases anymore, just because I have to do more on the sides here, which you can kind of see here too. I wanted to complete the sides to go off the canvas.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Yeah. So you just finish it off of the canvas.
Oh yeah.
Wow. So you said the Sutton took you about 3 days. How long does it usually take you on any, on average?
On average, it all depends on the size. For Sutton, for this one you guys have right now, it probably took about a week just to get it done, because I like using acrylic paint. Acrylic paint, I feel really sticks out. I used to have a blind friend, and how he would see was through the acrylic paint. And he would just touch it, and then he would be able to see like the pattern.
And so, do you work with other materials than just acrylics, or?
It's mostly acrylics, a few markers, especially like just to sketch out the drawings. Because like I'll see a picture and then like I'll have to use. I always like to use a Sharpie. I never like using like a pencil or like anything like any other people kind of use. I just always stick with the Sharpie because it's easy to cover up and it's more effective, especially when I'm coloring.
That's amazing. So you said that you were drawing for your friends? Is that kind of when you started? When did you start taking it seriously, more and more?
I think I took it more seriously when I came back from the Navy. So I'm currently a reservist for U.S. Navy.
Wow, thank you so much for your service and just, I mean, it's a brave thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I definitely would have joined the military service. I don't have that type of bravery, I would say, but that's amazing.
Thank you.
Where are you? You're in the Navy. Where are you at?
I'm stationed in Buckley Space Force Base.
Oh, nice.
I just got back from drill from there last weekend. But yeah, that's mostly like where we drill. Thankfully, I don't gotta go up to like Fort Carson. That's a long trip, especially where I live.
Right. How long? So you sent in a couple of videos of just different things that you're doing. Like you surprised your family at an Avalanche game.
Yes.
Where were you? How long away were you away from your family when that happened? Tell us about that experience.
So for basic, I was gone for about 7 months, and then I had to go to schooling, which took an extra 3 months. So it was 10 months in total I was gone. And that alone was a struggle because I never really believed in homesickness. Like I always thought that was something like you hear in like movies.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
Like I want to get away from the crowds. I want
Yeah.
to go hang out with my friends or just not friends, just being away. You didn't think that it would really affect you?
I didn't think it would affect me till like my first night there. I still remember I was like in my bunk, like I was missing a bunch of my hair because they just shaved us that day, and I was like, wow, like I'm actually away from Colorado. Like this is weird. And I was also the only person from Colorado that was in my division.
Wow.
So, like,
you didn't have a sense of home, back home, or anything.
I had no sense of home.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, if you truly think about it, you get taken away, and then you're kind of around strangers at first before you get to know everybody and stuff.
And when I was over there, you know, I kind of made like this game plan of like what I wanted to do once I came back. I kind of like made myself a promise. No, I made myself kind of like a vow, actually. Like when I come back, like I'm going to give myself a reason to not leave again.
Correct.
And I want to make sure like my home knows like how much I appreciate being from here and like how much it means to me to be a Coloradan.
Right.
And when you saw like that video when I surprised my older sister at the Avalanche game, like I could only describe. I can't really I can't even describe like that feeling, especially like the crowd's reaction. It was just like electrifying, I would say.
Wow. And so how long was it that you hadn't seen your family up until that point at the Avs game?
At that point, I didn't see them for a good 10.5 months, I want to say, because I had to check in. And then when I had the idea, I stayed probably 2 nights with a friend trying to get like everything ready. I had to like sneak back into my place and like get my Avalanche gear.
Oh, yeah. Because you were geared up in the Avs and everything. So yeah. Man, see, these are the things you see, those beautiful moments that when you're at sports games, and that's the beauty of sports. You know, it brings people together. You have beautiful reuniting moments like that. You know, sports is more than just sports sometimes.
Yes.
There's a lot of emotion into it. But yeah, so you had to sneak in and get your Avs gear. That's funny.
It was pretty nerve-wracking too, because my sister kept calling me that day too, and like I was hanging out at my friend's place, and like his dog kept barking. And she was asking me like, "Where are you at?" I'm like, "Oh, I have to pick up like a lieutenant at his house." Yeah.
So they were expecting you to come back, but they were just like, when? Or
they didn't know. I kind of made up like a lie, like, "Oh, I got in trouble."
Oh,
so like they said I had to do like another 3 weeks.
Right. So then they were even more like, "Oh my god, yeah." So yeah, you had to take that element. You had to give them that element of surprise. If they were expecting you, they wouldn't have been as emotional. Reuniting than it was. Yeah. So they're probably worried about you.
Yeah.
Heavy on their minds, and then boom, I'm here, baby. Yeah. I'm at the Avs game. I'm back. That's amazing. That's so great. Did the Avalanche reach out to you? Did your family have to reach out to the Avalanche? How did that all kind of, or is there kind of secrets to the magic, or?
It actually was an email.
Okay.
That started that whole thing, because I was watching like home videos, like kind of give myself like an idea of like, what I wanted to do, and then like I was looking through the Ball Arena website, and I saw like an email, so I shot them up an email. I was like, I'm gonna be back this day. I want to come for this game, and then next thing I know, they send me an email back. We have a Skype, like we're talking about the plan, and then. Yeah.
So how did your family have season tickets to the Avs, or how did you set them up to go to the game? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the coincidence of like, oh, I'm here, like, because there's a lot of setting that up. So how did that process go of having your sister be at the game?
So originally we were planning on going to an Avs game when I came back.
Oh,
the original date I told her.
Okay.
But then I made up the story like, oh, I got in trouble. Yeah, I'm gonna be gone for 3 weeks. Like, here, why don't you just go with her boyfriend at the time?
Oh yeah.
They're engaged now. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
And yeah, so I told him the truth. I was like, yeah, I didn't get in trouble. Like, but I need you to make sure she goes to the game.
Right. You got to let somebody know. Yeah. That way, you got to have somebody on the inside knowing, so then they could help coordinate it. Because, like my mom, she probably would have been like, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she could have changed her mind at the last minute. That's so amazing. So yeah, there was a lot of coordinating to get that all, and I mean, it was amazing. We'll probably have that overlaying right here.
Yeah.
Just showing it off. But that's so cool. So I also wanted to still talk more about the art. Who are some of your artist influences? Whether it be other artists, maybe your family, maybe even just sports people. What influences you to do the art that you create?
So I say in the beginning, I got really into like cartoons, mostly like the sketch cartoons. So I say like Drew Litton, like he does like the cartoons. Oh
yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a chance to meet him?
I've met him twice.
Okay, yeah, I met him at the Broncos and Espanol type of thing or something. And he was signing autographs. Mm-hmm. It was cool. I follow him. Follow us back.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No, he's amazing. I love his art.
Yeah.
So Drew Litton.
Drew Litton was like the first one to kind of introduce me to art. But when it came to like consistency and like, you know, wanting to shoot and be better, I would say it's probably my mom. My mom doesn't paint or draw like I do, but she's very skilled at like desserts. Like she's really good at like baked pecans.
Oh man.
And
it's our favorite over here.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I would see just how committed she was towards it, because like she would spend probably like 5 hours at most in the kitchen, and then if it didn't come out right, she would do the whole thing over again. And then
correct.
She was just very committed to it, and like that was the kind of level I wanted to be on when it came to this. Like I wanted my art to reflect like me as a person, but also reflects like the commitment I put into it. Because there's been times where like I've worked on a project and it stays in my head like all throughout the night, to where like I have to get up and I have to finish it. Right.
Yeah. No, I definitely understand that. When you have your mind set out on something, you definitely got to just go tackle it. And you'll just still. That's why you got to leave this earth with no regrets.
Right.
I just seen a video. Who was it? Was it DJ Jazzy Jeff? I think he was saying that like Pete, you can't die with your art. Like you have to let it all out. Like whatever, even if you're a musical artist, you got to let all your put out all your music. If you're a painter, you just got to get it out, because then it'll just kind of eat you alive, or you know that you got to just get it out to the world. And but that's kind of the same concept. If you have your mindset on something, you can't sleep at night because you just want to go and do it.
Right. That was kind of something too, like my grandfather kind of always taught me, was like, if you're not doing something that keeps you up at night, or something that really like drives you, then like you're in the wrong field. You shouldn't be there. Yeah,
that's amazing. So you chose sports as kind of a lot of the canvases that you painted. I see the Marilyn Monroe. Do you just only do sports, or do you do whatever just inspires you? How do you choose on what you're going to paint?
Honestly, it's pretty random. Like will legitimately see a picture and then I'll just go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll see something. If I know somebody close to me likes something, like I'll definitely like work towards it.
Right.
Like my grandfather really loved painting, especially when he came to Denver.
Thank you, Indy. Oh. Yeah, we love. I mean, most Bronco fans in Denver, Foos, he was our kryptonite in the playoffs.
Right.
We always beat Tom Brady, so I don't really hate Tom Brady. I actually like Tom Brady because he beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But Manning was always beating us. I mean, that's why we got Champ Bailey and to try to stop his high flying offenses. But then once he came here, all that hate just turned into love.
Yeah,
because he's an amazing quarterback, one of the top 5, I would say, for sure, easily. Top 2, just him and John Elway. No, I'm just kidding. But okay, so you said your grandpa loved Peyton when he came to Denver.
That's all he would talk about, was just Peyton. Like, we're gonna make it to Super Bowl now.
Heck yeah.
He had more confidence in Peyton than he did with Russell Wilson, I would say.
I think everybody did, except for that last season of Peyton Manning. I remember fans booing Peyton, which I was disgusted on. He's a Hall of Famer. And even in the AFC Championship, where we were sitting in Section 101, some of those people, season ticket holders and everything, they were booing him on the last few drives because I think, did he go 3 and out or something? Because we needed to just get down to the 2-minute warning. But when we had the no-fly zone and you had Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, and all those guys, what did you have to be worried about?
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't have nothing to worry about. We knew, like, we got this. We have the best defense, maybe of all time, I would say. But at that time, we definitely had the best defense. So I'm like, I know we're going to the Super Bowl. And Brady just can't beat us here in Mile High. He's always struggled. I think now he still has a tied record.
Oh, yeah.
In Mile High. But yeah, no. So your grandpa had all the confidence in Peyton Manning?
He had all the confidence in the world about Peyton. He bought like a bunch of his jerseys.
Yeah.
Anybody that like talked smack about Peyton, like he was willing to throw down for Peyton. You would have thought that they grew up together.
That's the homie. Yeah. Well, maybe he's the reason. His love is the reason why Peyton Manning is still here, and now Peyton Manning, he's a Denver Foo, and all his kids, they're Denver Foos. They're here. They go to school here. I mean, he's ours. Sorry, Indy.
Yep. Sorry.
That's amazing. So, did you paint this for your grandpa?
I painted it based on like his love for Peyton, I would say, and I wanted it to be unique. I didn't want it to be like anything you would see like at the mall or anything like that.
Right.
That's kind of like why the colors are
I noticed it's so colorful.
Yeah,
it's amazing. I mean, one thing about the Broncos, the Mile High Magic, the color it brings to just this colorful Colorado, it is the true like heart and joy of the city. I mean, we got that finals championship.
Yeah.
But for a lot of new people that moved here to Denver, I mean, the Broncos haven't been relevant in 9 seasons, and it's been long. But for the times before that, it's like the Broncos have always reigned supreme here in this city, in the Mile High City. Broncos are number 1. the Broncos like literally put Denver on the map before anything else. I mean, you have skiing in the mountains, which we don't ski in Denver. They ski in the mountains.
Right.
And then, like, Denver was just known as, like, a ski town and as a cow town. And then you had the Denver Broncos. And that was pretty much our claims to fame for such a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And so, you know, the Broncos, they mean so much to us. Even though the last 10 years have been just kind of... But we got Bo Nix now.
We got Bo.
What do you think of Bo Nix?
I'm definitely a believer. I have to say that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, this season alone, I feel like there's something different about this team. Like, it's not like anything you've ever seen before.
Definitely.
And just being like around like some of the players, especially the current ones, like there was like an extra pip in their step.
Right. Yeah. Sean Payton, to his credit, has definitely brought in a new culture. I mean, he's kind of gutted it out. I mean, there's only a few guys that we've had. Bowles on the line and Sutton are like maybe the only guys we've had that we stuck onto. But he kind of did a whole rehaul and cultural rebuild. And yeah, like you said, it does feel differently. Like they kind of have the media cut off, but you could tell they have a great chemistry with this young group of guys. With Bo, the way he prepares, he got better in each game, which was amazing. Which, I mean, I'll be honest, and I'll be the first to admit, we've been on this quarterback carousel for a long time. I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't have any high expectations. I didn't really have any expectations for Bo Nix. The only thing that kind of caught my eye was that he came from Oregon, which they always have a fantastic program, and that they killed CU the year before.
I know.
But, I mean... And that was Bo Nix. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I was just going off of those two things. I really didn't know much about the kid. I didn't really know much. But, I mean, from what I've seen throughout the season and his progression, and then finding out about the back injury, and it's like, man, he was still balling out and progressing. I think we're going to be good for some years.
I honestly feel like we've found our franchise quarterback. There's just some kind of aura about him, especially when he comes in the stadium. Like when I go to the tailgates, like he's just razor focused on anything. Like you could have like a whole siren going off, and like he won't care. He just cares about going in the stadium and proving some doubters wrong.
Right on. Yeah, shout out to the tailgaters. Shout out to BC Tailgates. Shout out to the Horsemen. Who are some of the tailgates that you go to when you're out there? Or do you go to like the friends and family tailgate inside there? Is that where you met like some of these guys? Or
I like to just walk around in general.
Just enjoying the atmosphere, all of Broncos country.
Oh, yeah.
It's always a good vibe. I mean, for the last 9 seasons, that's kind of all we had was the tailgates until the games. And and that was a whole nother story. I mean, but Broncos country, we're so peaceful. Everybody, we're an awesome. We're the best fans in all of football.
Yeah, definitely better than Eagles.
The Eagles, I know, man. But we want them to win. We don't want them to Chiefs to three-peat.
I'm temporary.
I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I don't ever want nobody to win except for the Broncos.
Right.
But in this case, Patrick Mahomes three-peat, a Chiefs three-peat. We can't let this happen, you guys. What is going on? We left it wide open for 9 seasons, but the Broncos, we're back, baby. Best believe that, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, there you go.
Definitely. Let's talk about some of these newer players. You've had the chance to create and paint some art for some of these new guys. Who's like one of your favorite guys that you painted for?
The ones that I would say.
Well, I don't want to single anybody out. Who are some? You painted a portrait, and I think you made some custom shoes for McLaughlin, right?
Jaleel McLaughlin.
Yes, Jaleel McLaughlin.
He's probably one of my favorite people ever that I've met in this entire world. In all honesty, I'm not saying it just because he followed me on Instagram. But yeah. So how I met him was through that signing. I originally made him a piece way before then. It was when he went against Kansas. I think it was like Russell's last game against Kansas as a Bronco.
Didn't we win? I think we won, right?
Yeah,
we
were
won.
destroying them.
Yeah, and it was Mahomes too. He was in there. Yeah, Like, we can beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
No problem. Dodge, next year, it's going to be a whole different story. In the next... I'm sorry, I'm getting too excited.
No. I'm with you there. I love the excitement.
Yeah. No, I just want this Super Bowl to just go and then go into the next season. So, it was after that game. So, the art that you did, it was from that game of Jalil?
It was from that game. I can't remember exactly how many yards he got. I want to say it was about like 100 and something yards, and it was a picture of him running with the ball, and like he got tackled for like 95 on their team, and I just really like that picture, and I wanted to paint out that one.
Is this it right here?
That's the one.
I'm not looking at my phone. I'm doing research.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm looking at my phone.
Yeah,
Just for the viewers. But yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, he's like one of the nicest people I've ever met. Like,
so you met him at a signing, and then how did it come about of you just creating one for him, or?
So when they announced that they were going to bring back the throwbacks, I was completely behind it. I loved the throwbacks. That was the main reason why I got into being a Broncos fan.
Oh, yeah.
It was just like seeing John Elway and like
yeah.
Those ones, especially like that dirt game where he has like a bunch of dirt on his sleeve.
Yeah. There was like a muddy game. The drive, wasn't it? I think. The drive?
I want to say it was probably the drive. So when I heard about that, I wanted to make like one of the players' shoes. Like I didn't care if it came out of my own pocket. I didn't care. I just wanted someone to have it.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Jalil about it that same day. I was like, I'd really like to make you a pair of shoes. Like, and the thing was like he could have said no, and I would have been okay with it. At least like I shot. At least I tried. But he was like, no. Like, yeah, just make me the shoes and then let me know when it's done. So I finished the shoes probably in a week, then
I'm looking at them right here. We'll have them.
Yeah, those are the ones he has.
Those are amazing. Oops.
No, that's all good.
So how long did they take you to make these?
So for those, they usually take me about a week. For him, because I really wanted him to have the shoes, so it probably took me at most like 5 days.
That's amazing. Is that your helmet?
That's my helmet.
Oh, okay. I'm like, dang, you even got it with his helmet.
Yeah, no, I wish that's
what. If you don't mind me asking, what kind of sneaker paint did you use, or?
I use Angelus. Leather paint.
This guy is a professional. He knows. For all you sneakerheads, I mean, that's the go-to paint for sneakers.
It is. It's so reliable and like so durable.
Cut the check for this man.
I know.
Oh, it's
Angelus. Waiting for my sponsorship.
Yeah. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about so you went with the old colors, the old logo. What was there any other design elements that you added to it?
It was the numbers, because he did a promotion with Fanatics during the off season last year, where he talked about what the number 38 means to him.
Okay.
And I think it was in high school, he wore number 8, and then he wore 10.
Okay.
And then I don't remember what the other number was off the top of my head, but then all of it added up to 38. So I wanted to have that. I want to have like a personal element with him. Okay. Whenever he wears the shoes, because he remembers.
8, something else, and 10. Oh yeah, 10, 20, and 8.
Yeah.
So then he combined them all now that when he went to the NFL.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Invite him to a watch party at the number 38.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll do a watch party at the number 38. So they'll have to come through. You especially too.
Oh yeah.
So that's unique. So he did a thing with Fanatics. What was that?
Where like he kind of told his story, and like they were giving away like free signed jerseys to anybody that like did like follow them, made a comment.
Oh, okay. And so then he explained that he wore all those numbers throughout his career, and then in the NFL he added them all up to wear 38. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the stories that had me committed to him, as like, this guy's like a forever Bronco. And
right.
I hate comparing anybody to this, but like he oddly reminds me so much of Demarius.
Oh, just like his demeanor and
his demeanor,
just like
He's
his
humble.
personality, how he is as a man.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever get a chance to meet Demaryius Thomas?
I did not, unfortunately. Demaryius is probably like the main reason why like I mostly try to incorporate artists in my work, or not artists, athletes in my work. Because I never had that chance with Demaryius, and anytime I make something of Demaryius, like people come to me and like they have stories like, oh, he carried me when I was a baby. Oh, when he got done with practice, he'd play video games with me, and like he took us shopping, and that was just something like a moment I would have loved to have had with him, even if it was like a fraction of a minute.
Yeah, no, he was just an amazing man. Just his spirit alone. I had a chance to meet him one time. It was at what was it? FanDuel Fan Fest. So it was like in 2021, right after, well, like during the pandemic, I guess technically. Yeah. It was like August, but like everything was still on restrictions. Like it was a very limited event, and Aqib Talib was there, Champ Bailey was there, and Demaryius Thomas was there. They were all there. And we had a chance to go meet him, and it was kind of funny at first because he was gonna like shoot around some basketball, and do something like that. So then they told everybody, all right, wait in line here, and then you can do autographs in a second. Mm-hmm. But then they like misinformed everybody, and then they ended up changing it around. So it was hot. It was like in mid-August. It was just hot, and we were already irritated. We had already been there for a couple hours, and I was wearing my Super Bowl 50 Demaryius Thomas jersey, and so was him. I mean, because Demaryius is my favorite, even from when freaking McDumbass drafted him, but because to me he's the baby Megatron. Yeah. So we used to always call him Optimus Prime. Yeah. And I'm like, he's just as good as Megatron, a Hall of Fame wide receiver. I mean, they went to the same school, and he just has kind of the same athletic abilities and as a Megatron. And I was always like, throw it to Demaryius. The whole Tebow season. I swear, I manifested it, and then the famous Steelers overtime win. I was like, that is why I said call. But he had some injuries that he was dealing with early on in the season and stuff. But Demaryius, I would say he's my top 3 Denver Bronco of all time. And it's not sympathy because he passed away. Like, I've always been a big, big Demaryius Thomas fan. So just for the viewers. So my top 3 is him, Terrell Davis, and John Elway. Oh, yeah. Let's just get that out of the way. But this is about you. So the Demaryius Thomas, you made a lot of those paintings. So we met him, and then so the line was all messed up, and then we got kind of discouraged because, like I said, we were there for a long time, and we were kind of like, oh. There was a lot of people, and a lot of them were all waiting for him. Champ Bailey, he didn't have a large line. Aqib Talib didn't really nobody rushed him. Everybody was there for Demaryius, and he had just announced his retirement. Mm-hmm. It was that same because then he passed away. Right. He literally passed away. A few months right after we met him. Yeah. I'm getting the chills right now thinking about it. So. They changed the line. Then some lady said, "These guys are big fans. You guys." They let us cut the line. Just really? I think by the grace of God, because I don't know. We were kind of upset. Me and him walked off. My dad was still over there, kind of hanging out. Yeah. And then even Demaryius was in the golf cart and passed. He's like, "Where y'all going? Come on over here." He's seen us in our Demaryius jersey. Yeah. But see, that kind of just shows you the type of person he was. Yeah. He was just like, "What's up, guys? Come on, let's go." And then we were like, oh, that was kind of like a sign, like, all right, let's go over there. So we went back to where my dad was, and then this woman was like, oh, these guys are big fans. Let them go first. For some reason, we were like the first or second people to meet him and get his autograph. Mm-hmm. And then I was telling him, because we sit in the Southwest section in Mile High, section 101, where we seen him score all of his touchdowns from the beginning of his career, from the Steelers when he won the overtime, to win all the Peyton Manning, like 509s, like all the just great moments in Broncos history right there in the southwest corner. And I told him, I'm like, we sit right there in 101 where you catch all those. He's like, and I'm like, we call it DT's corner. Yeah. I'm like gonna cry right now. Oh yeah. I'm like, we call it DT's corner. He's like, yeah, oh right there, yeah, in the tunnel, by the tunnel. Like I have the video of it or whatever. But his just spirit and just how welcoming he was to people and the way he would talk to people. Like, he was just an amazing man, and then just an amazing football player. And I do remember some of these people, they were so upset at him for his drops. They're just like, he would get double teamed, but it was a lot. It was a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
All the pressure of our shitty quarterbacks were getting put on him. And he didn't deserve a lot of the flack that people were giving him.
No.
But those are just my two. That's kind of my Demaryius Thomas interaction. And then 2 months later, he passed away, which is crazy. Like, I can't believe it. And that was the only time I met him during that whole time. I mean, we had a chance. We had relationships with the Julius Thomas's family. They used to come to our tailgates. We met like a lot of Broncos, but we never met him. But that one time, so it was kind of like it was meant to be.
Yeah.
But Demaryius was amazing. You showed me a lot of cool stuff that you made a lot of paintings of Demaryius. I seen you actually went and seen the No Fly Zone. Chris Harris and Aqib Talib. You did a couple DTs for them. How many DTs have you done?
In total, I would say probably like around 10. I only ever started painting or drawing Demaryius probably like their last Super Bowl run, Super Bowl 50.
Right.
And since like his passing, I still remember just hearing about his passing. I was like working like a night shift where I worked at the time, and like I was just so upset. Like I was very numb because I couldn't believe it. Because like this was too was when I was starting like to get good at painting, and I kept telling myself before, I was like, you know, one of these days like I'm gonna run into Demaryius and I'm gonna have something good for him. And when I had that news, like it weighed on me so bad like that whole day. And like I've never been like that about a player. Like I've been upset about like players getting traded. And whatnot.
Just affected, like, truly, I felt the same way. My sister, a lot of my family, when it was just so shocking, like.
Well, he was figuring he was gonna meet him and give him a painting.
Yeah. That's crazy. Oh man.
Yeah, and I remember too, like, I had tickets for like his tribute game. My friend couldn't come with me, so I ended up taking my mom. Because my mom and I are pretty close, kind of like how he was close with his mom. And I kind of felt like it was a sign from my God, like telling me like, you know, you didn't get this opportunity with him, but like at least you get to share like a pretty good moment with your mom. Because my mom doesn't go to games. Like, she doesn't like it. She has, like, social anxiety. But she didn't have any of it during that whole time.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah. No, sometimes you do get blessed in those moments to have those moments that you were supposed to have.
And I made custom shoes, too, for that game, too.
Oh, yeah?
I had a pair that I dedicated to Demaryius. It was, like, the first time I ever started painting shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like paying homage to like the all blue uniforms, because that was my favorite uniform to see him in, because it just reminds me of like the game against the Steelers. And anytime now since like his passing, like I get emotional when I paint him, because it just reminds me of that moment. Like I'll never get that chance again.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, his life too was so crazy, how his upbringing and just everything, like. But you know, I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with the story how his mom got to go see him play against the Steelers in the AFC Championship and at the Super Bowl. She'd never seen him play live his whole career. And then they got to go see him win a Super Bowl. How sweet is that? Like, just the poetry in his life of how, you know, he's such an inspiration. Just his whole life story all together of like going through trials and tribulations and everything he's gone through, and you know, and then just how it's kind of a tragic ending, but you could just look at him. I look at Demaryius' strength and just an inspiring story through it all. I mean, he made such an impact. So, you know, any impact that anybody could have on this earth, like we could all leave an impact like how he did, you know?
Yeah, he definitely inspired me to like reach out more to athletes.
Right.
I would say, because I never want like an athlete to come to Denver and like feel feel like we only care about like autographs and like we'll sell it the next
Right,
day.
right.
Like I've met so many of them, and like they've had bad interactions with fans, like fans like bugging them for autographs, and like they sell it on eBay, and then like them like trying to start something just because they had a bad game. But like I think sometimes people forget like these guys are humans too.
Right,
like,
right.
People make mistakes.
Definitely. People are, sometimes people take it too far.
Yeah.
Or they have, how do they expect so much from each player? It's like I just seen the Broncos. This is one thing that I always seen. Fans, they get upset at like players for not giving back as much, or charitable giving back. And I've always been like, why doesn't the organization give back?
Exactly.
Why is it always these guys? I mean, yeah, they get paid handsomely, and but the organization, they're the ones that are making all the ticket sales and all the merch. They're making a lot more money than each individual player. So I thought it was actually great that the Walton Penner Group, they actually did do that for recently. They gave back to all the high schools.
Oh yeah,
all the high school football players in the whole entire state. They gave them all helmets, which I'm like, dude, that's the kind of stuff that the organization should be charitably giving back to the community and giving back even to the sport, the safety of the sport. Like, that's good. If they continue to do that, I think the Walton Penner Group will really have a great place in my mind and in my heart, and that it's going to go in the right direction, because they villainize players as an individual so much, fans, and just like, and then I say sometimes the betting. If you guys want to bet, you could bet on our link. But I think that affects it, like the fan and player relationship. They're like, oh, you didn't get this yards, and it's like, dang, guys, like, remember, we're still just fans, and we're supposed to be just cheering on our team. Like, you can't villainize each individual player, and like. And sometimes these interactions, they're human beings. Yeah. Everybody has things that they're going through. So sometimes if you go interact with somebody, you don't know what they're going through, and maybe in their personal life, there's days where you don't want to get approached. These are the things that they do sign up for. And when you are in the public light, you do kind of sign up for. And if you are in the public, you gotta expect that. But always just give these guys a little bit of grace, because they are humans at the end of the day. That's cool that you have that for them, and you this is your way of kind of just showing your appreciation through your art.
Yeah, kind of like going back like about the whole Navy thing. Like the only real connection I had, especially being gone. Originally, I was in Chicago for basic, and then for schooling they sent me to Mississippi, which. That was something that I was not happy about going there. But my connection here was mostly sports. It was the Denver Nuggets, and it was the Broncos. Like, true, we had the worst season. That was Russell's first season. But I still wore all orange on Sundays.
Right.
Because that was my connection at home. Like, it just reminded me, like, okay, this sucks, but eventually I'm gonna go back home. I just have to keep grinding. I just have to keep going and doing what I need to do to get out and go back home. And anytime I meet them, I tell them that too. It's like, we had the worst season ever. I don't even remember what the record was. I think it was 5-12. I want to say. Probably.
Right. We just blanked that out.
Yeah. Okay. but I tell them all the time. I was like, you guys gave me comfort when I really needed it the most, especially Jonathan Cooper, because he has this heart. I forget what exactly it is. He has a heart condition, and I've met his manager, and I've told him he really means a lot to me, because he still plays even though he has those issues with his heart, and. You couldn't even tell, him on the field, he has those kind of problems. And when I met him in person, twice. I just let him know, because they got places to go. They got to go in that stadium, they got to think about beating that other team, but
Right.
I let them know, like, you really helped me through this time, and I really do appreciate them as a person.
Right, yeah, no, I don't know who it was. I think it was Kanye. But somebody said, like, anytime you meet your artists or athletes, like, just tell them thank you and show the appreciation.
Yeah.
Because, that's all that they should hear that. We should let them know,
Yeah.
Instead of asking for this autograph or asking, because they're getting asked
everything
by everybody. They're getting their whole families asking them for money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot comes with it. So to show appreciation, they're getting asked from their team. They're getting asked from their coaches. They're getting asked everything from them for this. But what they give to us on the field is the joy and the happiness and the good times and the championships.
Oh, yeah.
All we should do is just thank them and just show our love and appreciation for it. And, like that, like those moments where they gave you a connection to back home, like that's just the power of sports that a lot of people sometimes don't realize of how much, like sometimes it does look obsessive and some people do obsess too much.
Yeah.
But it's that family. It's these experiences that who you experience it with. It's like what you were saying. You went to the game with your mom. She don't even go, but you got to share that moment with her.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's these things that create these everlasting memories. And watching a game, it's more than just football. It's more than basketball. It's more than sports. Sometimes it's these moments in our lives, and it's amazing. And it's amazing that you're able to put your art into it and put that love in there. And I think when you look at your art, you could truly see it and you could feel the passion behind it.
Yeah. That's how I felt, too, like when I met Keith Talib and Chris Harris. I think I sent you a video.
Yeah.
When I gave them
of
Demarius, especially if you watch, like, near the end, they got really serious talking about Demarius.
Yeah, you could see their hearts and souls like light up and remembering about Demarius and remembering. These guys, they all won a championship together. They used to battle in practice against each other. They were the defense and he was the offense. And, it's just beautiful moments and just memories in people's lives. Let's speak a little bit about Broncos eras. Who was like your during like Super Bowl 50? Who was your favorite player? Demarius or who else? Sorry to put you on the spot.
It's hard to say. It was definitely Demarius was one of them. Peyton definitely still brought the leadership. Like he was declining. You could see in each game.
Yeah.
I would also say Aqib Talib. No fly zone. No fly zone is something unique, especially like when they were on the field. You would have thought like these guys played together like when they were kids.
Yeah. The chemistry, it was amazing. Aqib and Chris, they did play together. How many years in college did they play? Maybe 1 or 2 years. They both played together, so they kind of had that chemistry going, which they played lights out.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Yeah, no. Man, if only... We had them the year before, and then Del Rio sold us out and went to the Raiders.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And then, so we could have had a Super Bowl that year with the no-fly and, the best offense ever. We had just got Sanders. We got a lot of accusations that next year, which was amazing. And shoot, man, if Peyton maybe would have stayed healthy, we could have went like back to back or whatever.
Could have brought another back to back.
But yeah, no, this new team looks amazing. I can't wait for them. So out of now, what are you working on? Are you working on any of the new guys? Or you got any Bo Nix? How do you gain inspiration for a painting? Just
in general, for inspiration for a painting, it's all the person. Just like how they are on the field, and also like I completely rely on like the Broncos like media team, like especially like their photographers.
Oh, okay.
Because like a good 90% of my pictures are from their pictures.
Oh, okay.
And like currently right now I'm working on Jonathan Cooper, and it's mostly like him like yelling without his helmet. Like, just because like he's a very loud person. Like when you meet him in person, like he's very quiet. Like
Right.
he's like self-reserved, I would say. But then like he's on the field, like he's yelling, like he's getting the guys pumped.
That's awesome. So I mean, we've talked over a lot of Broncos. You got the Nuggets hat on. I seen you had an interaction with Aaron Gordon, and you painted like. How many Aaron Gordon's paintings did you do? And why did you choose Aaron Gordon?
Aaron was probably like one of my favorite ones, just because like he has like a unique kind of aura, I would say about him. Like you would have thought he was like from here.
Yeah. His connection to people.
Yeah.
He's kind of like another Demaryius Thomas. Just he's got a vibrant aura, like to just people. He's so welcoming too with his energy as well. Like you could totally feel that. I mean, especially when he won the championship, he was out running out. I mean, that was so cool. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you would have never seen another player.
No,
like that. Like I don't even think AI would have done something like that.
No. No. I mean, what J.R. Smith, he did that, and that was at the parade. This was literally right after they won the championship. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That was tight. He was there with the people and just shirt off, just freaking baby, let's go.
I think it was like 40 degrees outside too.
Yeah. No, he's amazing. We had a chance to meet him. Tell us about your interaction when you met him and how you chose the Aaron Gordon pictures to paint.
So from Aaron was probably the first athlete I ever gave a painting to, because I knew I was getting good. I just wanted to prove it more. I just wanted, because friends, family, they'll tell you like, oh, it looks good, and then like you kind of want like something real. Where if like an athlete tells you like it's good, like like okay, I'm here, but like if they tell you like, oh, that's cool, I don't want it, then you kind of know like, okay, this guy is either something or like I gotta try harder. But the first one I ever painted of Aaron was when they were on their championship run. He was wearing a Mile High City jersey, and like he was just yelling. And then to the game against the Hornets when he dunked over, what was it, LaMelo? Was the guy?
LaMelo?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
So,
he plays for the Hornets.
Yeah, so I wanted like those two pictures. I put them all on a canvas. I did the one of him yelling, because I remember something about him liking anime. So I wanted to do it like kind of in an anime style, which I'm not used to. But, and then I heard about him going to a signing, so I went there. It was a 2-hour long wait. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Sometimes these times when you want to meet these guys, that was us too. And he had his pop up. Over there in the east side. We had to wait 2 hours in the heat, but you were here at the signing. You waited for 2 hours.
This was the one I'm talking about. Was like the
another one before this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I met him, I gave it to him, and then he said to me like, you don't want me to sign it? And I was like, no, it's for you. And I just wanted to give it to you because like, when I was gone, like, you were one of my favorite players. Like I ordered a jersey when I was over there online, and it was of Aaron, and he was just really shocked about it. Like he kept insisting like, you sure you don't want me to sign it? And I was like, no, it's for you. And how I knew like I was doing something good was he just kept telling me like, keep painting.
Right.
And that's kind of how I knew like, all right, like if Aaron can like a painting, then I wonder who else would like a painting.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. I'm sure it's a different, like I said, everyone's always asking them for something, or an autograph, or a picture. So it's probably just great for them to receive. They put out so much energy on the court and for us, and then everyone's trying to be energy vampires and take from them.
Yeah.
So to give that energy back through your art, through what you do best, it's probably just feels so good for them, you know.
Yeah,
Give yourself a round of applause.
Thank you.
That's amazing. I mean, even when the no fly, you could tell they're like, "Are you sure?" Well, man, like, thank you. Like, it's just cool to see that gratitude from these guys, where they're in a giving mode of giving autographs and stuff. It's so cool.
Aaron Gordon was gonna sign that.
Yeah, Aaron Gordon was gonna sign the one.
Yeah, that one was the most recent one. He did another signing last year. That was when like news broke about his brother passing, and I wanted to give him something because like he gave me that confidence.
Right.
And I knew like how much Drew meant to him, so I looked up a bunch of pictures of him and Drew, and I made him that custom piece.
That's cool.
Yeah, and he was signing like a bunch of stuff too that day, so he probably got like a little confused.
Oh, okay. So is this the one you made for him?
Yeah, it's of him and Drew.
We'll put it up
and
right here.
32 with the.
Oh wow.
With the wings on it.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Yeah. So this was just over the summer.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that must have been like right around the same time we seen him too, because that was one of the first things I told him too. Like, my condolences for your brother. Like, that's a tough thing. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, I wanted to get into like more detail about him, like why I gave him that piece, but you know, I didn't know how it would affect him. So
right. You want to always respect people.
I wanted to respect him, and like I told like the owner Ryan, which also shout out to Ryan Horn and Megan Horn. They just had a newborn not too long ago, so congrats, and you know, thank you guys for all your support whenever it comes to like athletes. So I told him, I was like, you know, I don't mind staying the whole time, like when everybody gets their autographs, but I just want to stay.
That's cool too. You don't even try to hop the line, because you know some people, because you have those relationships with people, they'll try to just be like, all right, let me in. It's like, no, because a lot of them people pay a pretty penny to. Yeah, that's pretty honorable of you.
Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to see his reaction to it. He had a pretty good reaction to it. And then the following day, he posted something about him and Drew.
Oh,
and
wow!
I don't know if it did. I don't want to take credit and be like that confident. Like, yeah, you see that? I did that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it did. I mean, and then, something like that. I'm sure they're always on your mind, you know. But it probably truly did resonate with him through that painting, through that gift of that love that you gave, that you put into your art, and then you gave back to him. That's amazing. That's awesome.
Since like the first time I met him, I probably met like about 8 other athletes, and I like make them their portraits, and like they don't even know, like it's all because of Aaron. Like if Aaron told me straight up that day, like, yeah, I don't like this, I probably would have.
Oh yeah.
I probably would have shot down my confidence pretty bad.
Right. Well, no, and then so now you. So did you start posting it on social media, like all your paintings? Like, because when you're first starting out and stuff, putting your art out and being vulnerable to the world, you know, there's cruel people, the trolls in the comments and everything. You got to be pretty brave and to put it out there and see what people say. But you get great responses from it. And
I in the beginning when I was starting out, I didn't get the best comments. It was.
But there's people just saying shit
just to piss you off.
And
like it didn't mess with my confidence. Like I knew I was getting better, but like at most it just was like fuel to the fire. It was just like, you know, you can say what you want about me, but like in the end of the day, like I'm still selling this piece.
All right, well let's check out some of your work. He's gonna bring over some of your stuff. Let me ask you a couple more questions. What do you think of the state of the Denver art scene? As far as we have a awesome city. Look at this.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones I made of recent. Maryland's probably one of my best sellers. I sold probably about 5 of the same ones, but like smaller sizes.
That's amazing. This could go good. This would go good in their salon back here, Angels.
Yeah.
So if people want to purchase your art, or do you do custom stuff? Like, can you do requests, or is it all inspirational? How is your process as far as?
I do requests. This is probably one of my most trippiest ones I've made. When I wanted to do something different. This was like one of my promotions I did.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
You have so many great pieces. What is your most proudest work to date?
It's like telling me to pick like my favorite child.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, from the sounds of it, I would maybe say from the outside looking in, I would probably say that Aaron Gordon one that you gave to him after he, maybe because. I'll leave that Kobe one. That's tight. Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. I mean, Kobe. I never liked Kobe. I'll be honest, but his story and his passion and his drive and how he, just how he prepared and he you always knew he was going to be a problem and he was going to kick the Nuggets' ass every time.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't like him. It wasn't like a personal thing. It was just because he always beat the Nuggets. Oh, let me see this one. Oh, Murray. This one's sick. I like this one. Murray is like one of my favorite Nuggets.
Oh, yeah.
This is awesome. Man, they just keep getting better. What about this one? What is this one? Show it to me real quick. And then we'll show it to the camera. Oh!
Yeah, this is like when the documentary came out about them on Netflix.
Man.
That's what inspired this one.
That's crazy. And then Pippen now is all... He's on podcast. I think he's just doing it just to get attention. I mean, come on, how could you hate on the GOAT? Yeah. So who's your GOAT? Kobe or Jordan? or LeBron?
It's hard to pick. I say my current GOAT right now has to be Jokic.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I like that. I like that answer. Now that's... No, really, when it's all said and done, the stuff he's doing Wilt Chamberlain stuff. He's doing Kareem stuff. And he's doing it now in today's game. Yeah. These guys are... No one has done what he's doing since Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem. But he's doing it against... They're way faster. Like, they're even way better players than they are today. Maybe the defense isn't as aggressive as it was back in those times. Yeah. But for him to be able to get the numbers, get the assists, get the point, get all that stuff... And nobody's done those numbers since those guys back then. That truly shows his greatness. And he's doing it in such a faster time. What, do you have any Jokic ones?
Oh, my Jokic one sells out. I've made like so many great ones, especially when they won their championship. I made like this huge one of like Aaron, Michael Porter, Jamal, Jokic, and then Uncle Jeff. Too, and then I also had a Rocky on there too because like Rocky's my younger sister's favorite mascot ever.
Rocky for the longest was my favorite Nugget of all time. I would still probably say he's probably my favorite Nugget. I mean, Carmelo was for a minute, but then once he dipped out of town, it just I don't know. I had everything, the Carmelos, everything, but Rocky definitely. He's the number one mascot. I mean, I think in Colorado definitely he's the best.
He's most well known, I would say. Yeah, my younger sister loves him. Like, she'll watch like him doing like the tricks and whatnot. I went to a game recently and like he was throwing out T-shirts and I recorded it just for her, just to see. And she was just like, "You didn't grab me a shirt? Like, why didn't you just take it from him?" I'm not gonna start nothing with Rocky. You can't start.
Okay. That's awesome. So what's next for you as far as the art? How far, like, what are your plans? Do you have specific, you said you're working on a Jonathan Cooper. Is there any other things you're working up towards, or are you planning to put your art in any exhibits, or what are your plans as far as for your art career?
My art career is definitely to do this full time. I definitely feel like I'm like on the rise of getting to that goal, because I have another piece I'm working on. I'm working on it currently now. I was just working on it before I got here. PJ Locke, of him in the retro uniforms. Like, he ordered that. Like, he DM'd me like 2 days ago, just showed me the picture and told me what he wanted, and I'm really looking forward to that one, because technically he's the first one that's ever DM'd me for a custom piece.
Okay.
Even though I met him before.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Who would you like to work with in the future?
That's a tough question. Like, there's so many great artists here in Colorado. Like, it's hard to pick. Probably, I would have to say Brianna Berry, because she
does the shoes, right?
She does the shoes.
Yeah. Oh man, she does some amazing stuff. She does the cleats, like the My Cause cleats. She does. Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, she definitely kind of was like a pioneer. I would say that showed me like, you can definitely have like a career into this. You just have to put more time, effort into your work. Her and Detour too. Like, I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah, I spoke with Detour. We did a little interview with him at Mile High. Was it 2 seasons ago where he painted all that? He was in there. We ran into him, and I did a little interview. I definitely admire his work. His work is amazing.
Yeah, he's definitely like a unique kind of artist, I would say, especially from here. I've seen like a few of his work on buildings before. I just never knew who it was until like I followed him, and then I like saw his work, and it's truly amazing. Like, I'm not even saying it just because like he's one of my favorites, but
right.
There's just something unique about his work, especially when he does portraits. It's unlike anything.
Yeah, no, he did all the Hall of Famers, and it's in the hall in that Mile High.
Yeah,
all them Hall of Famers. That's amazing. He even did some cool like luggage thing over at the airport.
Yeah,
it's a new DI, and then one of the new concourses. That's amazing. We're gonna start wrapping up here. Where could everybody find you if they want to reach out for you for some of your art, to purchase some of your pieces? What's the best way people can contact you?
Best way to get a hold of me is my Instagram, Notorious Art Collection. I really don't bite. Like, I'm pretty much always on Instagram. I'm not gonna charge you a crazy amount like some artists do. Not dissing anybody or anything like that, but I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty down to earth. I don't, I never say no to a job, especially when it comes to something like these.
Wow, yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on the Denver Foos podcast. We appreciate your time. We appreciate you sharing your art and even displaying some. So if you guys want to come on down to the Denver Foos Barbershop, we have some pieces from Notorious Art Collection on display here, and you can negotiate on purchasing some. I think I'm going to purchase some, so
all right.
You better purchase some.
Yeah.
All right? Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Denver Foos podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the videos. Let's get it out there, and let's give more eyes to Notorious Art Collection. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Right on.